So with Viome, we talked a little bit about disruption and how your goal is to disrupt this. Now, I'm going to tell you from my perspective, and I say this a little bit in jest, but I have my patients coming into me and saying, hey, I want to do my Viome testing. And so I was like, awesome, there's this new test. I don't know anything about it. So I called up over at your offices and I said, hey, I'm a doctor. Can you help me help my patients interpret this? And they said, nope, that's not what we do. So you guys are taking this doctor-patient relationship and really trying to shift things on a big scale. Can you just speak to that? And I have to just point out that I absolutely love this because it gives the patient back all of the power.
So one of the things we realized, Heather, was that the only way we can hold people responsible for their action is to give them the information and give them the actionable thing they can do to take control of their own health. Unless people become the CEO of their own health, they can never change. They don't believe anyone outside because the whole system they have seen is keeping them sick. I mean, if you have a chronic disease, imagine what happens. Whether you have an autoimmune disease or pick a name you want, you have a diabetes, nobody really cares. They give you the metformin drug or they give you these, and you poke your fingers and you're constantly taking insulin all the time. And you start to say, you know what? Isn't someone going to help me solve the problem rather than just simply suppress my symptom? Or if you have autoimmune diseases, you have to constantly, you're hurting, you're getting these biologics. And the best you can do is spend $60,000 a year getting these biologics. And by the way, and living in the pain. And by the rest of your life,
you're a subscriber.
You're a subscriber, right? So to me, the role of the doctor is simply changed. The role of a doctor or a teacher in that case really is you becoming a coach, you becoming a mentor, you becoming a guide, and you providing more additional information. So one of the things we're going to be doing, Heather, which I'm about to tell you, is that for doctors, we're going to be actually creating even more in-depth report because a consumer can only digest so much information. So we tell people about their metabolic fitness and their inflammation. We may tell them about butyrate, but telling them about the primary bile acid and the secondary bile acid and all the sulfites and stuff, they're going to be overwhelmed. So what we're doing is we're going to give enough information to the consumer so they know what is going on. But more importantly, we're going to tell them here are the foods that are bad and here's why. Here are the good foods and here's why. And the doctor's job is to now say, and by the way, let me also help you now. You also have your bile acid very high. And the reason you need to be cutting down these foods is because this is how the mechanism works. So they can now describe them in a lot more details because you have one-on-one conversation with them. Since we are dealing with millions of people, it's very hard to really provide too much information, not to confuse and not to think them like a dumb people, not give them information. So we have to find a fine balance. So we're creating two products, a consumer product and actually a healthcare practitioner product that's going to have a lot more detail. And by the way, we will make that available to the advanced user if they want it. So it's not we're trying to hold off the information, but we're trying to make sure that only people who really need it, they can see it.
Welcome to the Collective Insights podcast, where we explore topics and technologies revolutionizing human well-being. Naveen Jain joins Dr. Heather Sandison for this episode to explore addressing society's biggest challenges, including what direction to take to solve our current healthcare problems. Since addressing our societal challenges starts with the vibrant health and empowerment of each individual, we discuss how we can take back control of our own health, and especially gut health. Make sure to subscribe to Collective Insights wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss an episode.